Hi there, welcome to the second part of this tutorial. In the first part, I shared how to draft a pattern for this beautiful dress, and here I'm going to just share the rest of the tutorial, how I sewed everything together. So if you've not watched the first part, please do well to check the video right before this one on my page so that you can catch up and then continue from here. And now if you're watching this, please watch to the end, like this video, share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And without wasting any more time, let's get straight into the video. So these are the patterns I drafted and cut out in the first part of this tutorial. So please check that before you come here so that you don't get confused. So I have the front pattern and then I have the back pattern. And now I have my fabric here. I'm making use of crepe fabric. It is not too thick and it is not light. You don't want something that is too light because you're trying to achieve a structured lower part, so you need fabric that has some sort of thickness. And also you're going to need at least 1.5 yards. It also depends on your size. So if you're bigger than a size 12, you're going to need at least 2 yards to 2.5 yards. And then I have matching lining, and then I also have my ST. So I'm using cotton ST for this. You can go ahead and use any thicker ST, or you can triple your ST so that everything is just going to stand properly and be very structured. So it depends on what you're going for. People use crinoline for the lower part, so from waist down. Some use crinoline, some use collar stay. It just depends on the kind of structure that you need for the lower part of your dress. But for me, I want it to be a bit more flexible. That's why I'm using cotton ST. You'll also be needing matching zipper and thread, and also bias to make the designs in front. I also wanted to bead. But after struggling for 30 minutes, I remember that beading is not my strength at all. But if you can do it, please go ahead. It's going to make it stand out even more. This is everything you'll be needing for this dress, and of course your machine. Now you're going to first of all iron your ST on your fabric before cutting it out. Now you can see that this was a dress before. I had cut out this dress over a year ago and I was about to throw it away because I was so tired to sew. But I decided to use it for this project instead. So you iron your ST on the wrong side of your fabric, and then I'll bring in my pattern paper for the front so that I can cut that out. So for the center front, I'll be cutting this on fold, while for the side front, I'm going to be cutting out 2 pieces for the side. So I'm going to place the center front pattern paper on the folded edge of my fabric, and then I'll place the side on the other open edge so that I can have 2 separate pieces. As you can already see, my fabric is not enough to cut out what I need, so I'm going to add a little to the side of the side piece, just toward the hemline there, so that everything just adds up eventually. So moving on, I'm going to pin the pattern on the fabric so that I can secure it down, and then I'll go ahead and add 1/2 inch to the sides of the center front, where the center front will be attached to the side front, and then I'll just add 1/2 inch all around to the armhole, the shoulder, and around the neckline. You know we already have hemming allowance on the paper and side seam allowance on the paper as well, so I'm going to add 1/2 inch allowance to this other side of the side front that will be attached to the center front. The sides already have allowance, so I'm not adding anything there. I'll add 1/2 inch to the armhole part as well. Now I'm done cutting out the front pieces. I have the center front on fold and I have the side front here as 2 separate pieces. I'm going to place this aside while I cut out the back piece. So bringing in my fabric for the back piece, I have ironed ST on the wrong side of the fabric, so I'm going to place it on fold, and then I'm going to bring in the back pattern, place it on the fabric. I have a little shortage along the side toward the hem, just like the front, so I'm going to work on that later. I'll pin the pattern on the fabric so that I can secure it in place while I cut everything out. I'm going to be adding allowance just to the armhole, the shoulder, and the back neckline because there is side seam allowance, zipper allowance, and hemming allowance already on the paper. So I'm just going to cut this out, and then I'll divide the center back into 2 because we need 2 separate pieces for the back. Now on everything I've cut out on the main fabric, I'm just going to cut the same thing on the lining piece. So you just place the fabric with the pattern and cut it out on the lining. And this is what I have here. The lining was placed on fold. For the side front, 2 separate pieces. For the back, 2 separate pieces. And if you want a bit more structure, please go ahead and iron ST on your lining before cutting it out. So I did not iron any ST here, or you can also use the crinoline on the lining or hard stay collar stay, whichever one you feel is thick enough for you. Go ahead and iron it on your lining before you cut it out. So I'm going to join the sides to the center of the front. I'll place them right sides together this way, and then I'm going to pin and sew along that line with 0.5 inches because that's the allowance that we added before cutting it out. So I'll join the left side, and I'm also going to join the right side the same way. Now, and also make sure you pin all along the line before you take it to your machine to sew. It's just going to make stuff easier and more aligned for you. And whatever I'm doing to the main fabric, I'm going to do the same thing to the lining. I'll place the sides of the front on the center, right sides together, and I'll go ahead and sew it along the edge there with 0.5 inches allowance. I couldn't record the sewing process, but just follow the instructions that I have given. I think it's explanatory enough. Now for the back pieces, if I wanted to sew darts on this dress, this is the time I'll be picking the darts for the two back pieces and for the lining pieces of the back. If you watch the first part of the tutorial, you would see that we did not add any darts to the back pattern, just because I was too lazy to sew it that. So you can go ahead and add your darts and sew it at that point. And now this is the front that I have sewn. I've joined the sides of the front to the center for the main fabric and for the lining. The next thing to do is to open up these seams and give it a very good press. So you iron it open, and then around the bust area you can use a bust ham under so that you can iron the curved part very well. And then after ironing the main fabric, I'm going to iron the lining piece as well. So you're doing the same thing to the lining and the main fabric. And this is it after ironing. The next thing I'll go ahead and do is to draw out the line for my design. So where I'm going to be sewing the bias on top. I have my sketch here. I was still contemplating what to do. This entire design was just a last minute, or would I say it kept evolving, or it kept changing as I kept going. So this is what I was able to freestyle with. There's no particular pattern for this. You can just watch it and try to copy exactly what I've done here, or you can just freestyle with whatever design it is you want to do. So I used my pencil first, and when I was satisfied with it, I went ahead to use my chalk, and that's what you're seeing here. Now you're going to stop the design or wavy line 1 inch before the edge of the fabric, because 1 inch is the side seam allowance that I added on paper. So you're going to have to remove that 1 inch from this design you're making. So I'm just marking that 1 inch straight and then making the whole wavy design, and the other edge of the fabric toward the hem, I marked another 1 inch straight. Also, I went above on both sides by 2 inches. So you have to take note of this so that when you place it on the back, you don't end up cutting the back too short and then the front is longer than the back. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And remember that we added 1 inch of hemming allowance, so we're not having any shortage here. Although my dress came out really short, because see how high the wavy line is, and this is 34 inches in length. So you have to make sure that your dress is long enough before cutting out the design or the wavy line so that it doesn't end up too short. It's because of very limited fabric. That is why I made mine 34 inches. And I'm going to place the back pieces together so that I can just trace out that design from the front on the back. So I'll first of all fold in the zipper allowance of 1 inch on both pieces of the back, and then after folding it in, I will use my pins to hold it in place so it doesn't move. I'm going to place the front piece on the back piece, right sides together. Now at this point, you have to really confirm your measurements and check everything so that you don't end up cutting up too much of the back fabric. So make sure that the side is 2 inches above, just like the front. Use your chalk to trace everything out, and then you go ahead and cut it. Now if you want a different design for the back, go ahead and do that, but I decided to use the same thing I used for the front behind. Now I'm done cutting out the design at the hemline. Remember that we're replicating whatever we're doing on the main fabric on the lining. So I'll place the lining on the fabric right sides together. Please make sure you're placing it right sides together, else you end up wasting your lining and you realize that you have to cut out a new one. If you don't place it this way, the design on the right side might end up being on the left side, and the one on the left side might be on the right side, and you have issues. But this my lining does not have right or wrong side, so I just placed it anyhow. Now, if you are ironing stay on your lining before cutting it out, you don't want to waste it. So try to place your fabric on the lining right sides facing, and then go ahead and confirm the measurement. So remember that I went above on the sides by 2 inches. You have to make sure that you are not going above by more than 2 inches. If anything, your lining should even be longer than the main fabric. So after confirming the measurement and everything, go ahead and cut it out. Make sure you're secure securing the lining on the fabric properly so that it doesn't move while you're cutting. Then you cut everything out. This is it for the back pieces. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the front. I'll place the lining on the fabric right sides together, and then I'll cut along the hemline. Also, you can see that I added ST on my lining from the waistline downwards. That's because I had leftover ST. So I decided to just use it and iron it on the lining so that I can have more structure. Although I did not eventually use this lining on the dress, so that my dress is not lined. We'll see that much later. Like I said before, the style or the design kept evolving as I kept going. So up until this time, I did not know that I was not going to use a lining. Now it is time to make the design on the dress using bias strips. I have a darker shade of green here with me. I kept thinking about what to do. I was so confused with the design. I would sketch, erase it, sketch another one, erase it. I wanted to do this, do that, put some across the dress, but I decided that less is more. So I ended up with just a very simple design. So to the hemline, I went above by about 3.5 inches, and I just replicated the design I have along the hemline on top of it. So you can see what I'm doing. I don't have to say too much. So I just try to copy what I have down there and just end it on this other side, and that's everything. So I brought my bias, I folded it in two, and then I sewed along the line. So you can fold it and sew it directly on your fabric, but it was just easier for me to fold the bias and sew it first, then bringing it to the fabric and then sewing it again on top of the line I have drawn out there. So you're just going to place the bias strip following the wavy line you've made with your chalk, and then just sew it slowly on your machine. I also did not film the process of sewing this. I apologize. I hope to do much better next time. So I'm just going to sew it along here this way until I get to the other edge of my dress. This is the dress after sewing the bias on it. I did the same thing for the back pieces as well. As you can see, I just went above by about 3.5 inches, tried to trace the exact design on the hemline, and then folded the bias, sewed it, and then I brought it and sewed it on the design I have drawn out. Now the next thing to do is to shape up our dress, and to do that I'll be placing the front and the back right sides together. I'll join the shoulders of the front and back with 1/2 inch of allowance, and then I'm going to shape the sides with 1 inch side seam allowance, because remember that was what we added on paper. Now at this point, don't just mark 1 inch on the side. Make sure you confirm your bust and waist measurements and maybe your hip measurements as well, so that everything is going to come out accurate. And after shaping the sides and joining the shoulders, I'm going to go over to the center back so I can close that up as well. Now for the center back, I'm going to be attaching my zipper and closing up the rest of the center back. So I'll attach my zipper from the top there down to about 8 inches below the waist. So I'm just going to measure down about 7 or 8 inches so that it's very easy for you to put it on. And then from that 8 inches below the waist down to the hem of the dress, I'm going to close that up with 1 inch. So remember that 1 inch is our zipper allowance. I'm just going to close the rest up with 1 inch, and the zipper allowance I'll use to attach the zipper is also going to be 1 inch. Now the way we're shaping up the main fabric is the same way we're going to shape up the lining. So I'm going to bring my lining pieces and place them right sides facing each other. I'll place the back on the front, join the shoulders, join the sides with 1 inch, and then for the center back I'm going to measure down to about 8 inches below the waistline, and then I'll close that part up. So I'll leave up from the top of the center back down to about 8 inches below the waistline, and I'm going to be doing them separately. So I will shape up the main fabric separately and lining separately, and this is what I have for the main fabric. So our dress is almost ready, and before you do any other thing, you have to make sure you iron it very well at this point. So you open all your seams, the center back seam, the side seams for both sides, the shoulder seams, open it for the main fabric and for the lining, and iron it out very well. After ironing, you turn it over to the front, iron it very well so that you can have that nice structure. This requires a lot of ironing. If not, it's not going to sit properly. Now it was at this point I realized I didn't want to use the lining anymore, because I wanted a little contrast from that bias. So I decided to pipe the neckline, the sleeve, and then the hemline. But if you like to fully turn in your dress with a lining, at this point you're going to have to place your lining and fabric right sides together, turn in the neckline, turn in the hemline, and then you try to turn in the sleeve opening. There are a lot of tutorials from other creators you can find on here on how to fully turn in your dress or fully bag out your dress, so please do well to check them out. I'll also try to make a tutorial on how you can fully turn in the lining of a sleeveless dress. Now moving on here, I'm going to bring in my bias and I'm going to pipe the edges of the hemline, the neckline, and the sleeve opening. I would also try to finish up the rough edges inside by overlocking it. So to pipe this, I'm going to first of all sew the bias on the wrong side of my fabric. So I'll sew it inside first. You know how the bias is made. I'm going to first of all sew it on the wrong side, and then I'll trim off some of the excesses so that it can fold over very thinly. So after sewing it on the wrong side, I'll turn it over to the front, and then I'll top stitch on the right side of the fabric. So I'm sewing it from back to front so that I can have the bias showing on the front and I can have that little contrast that I need. I hope you get what I'm saying. So I'll go onto my machine. I'm sorry I did not record while I was sewing. I'll go onto my machine and sew the hemline, the neckline, and the sleeve opening. And this is what I have for the dress. Everything is complete at this point. Go on to just give it a final press and you have your dress ready. Now this is everything for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please do well to give this video a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Also turn on your notifications so you get notified when I post new videos. This is it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.